Alright, everyone. So I thought I'd do like a PlayStation 4 Day 1 thoughts, along with my thoughts on the games and stuff like that. So you're seeing this after all the videos have been uploaded. So all my PlayStation 4 coverage, more or less, has been uploaded and is now live. Alright, so I unboxed the console and the launch games, and I also set up the console, went through the setup process, and played an hour of each of the games I own. Alright, so today, I literally played for the system for about 12 hours, alright? I had the system on completely for about 12 hours long. Um, what I can tell you so far is I haven't run into any technical problems at all. Haven't been any freezing issues, there hasn't been any odd, weird noises, or there hasn't been any game freezing at all. It's been a completely smooth experience, and that's like at a consistent 12-hour long gameplay day. Um, I like. First thing I want to talk about is there is one issue. All right, and the only issue that I've come across is you can't access the PlayStation Store like at all. You can't like when I go to the PlayStation Store, it sits there on a blue screen with squiggly lines, and it like loads indefinitely. So I did, however, get on the PlayStation Store once. If you saw my Assassin's Creed 4 impressions, the PlayStation Store was loaded up, but I left it on. I went to go pick up my sister from school, came home, and that was after like half an hour. So it literally, after I came home, I just saw it was on there. And it wasn't like you could buy anything. It was just like the standard games. There wasn't anything special that I really wanted on there. But what I really wanted to do, and I realized this after I closed down the PlayStation Store, is I wanted to redeem my content. I have content for Killzone Shadowfall, content for Assassin's Creed 4, and content for Battlefield 4 I would like to redeem, and get it. But with the PlayStation Store being down, I can't do that. So I have like an owl skin for Killzone Shadowfall, which I couldn't use today because the PlayStation Store was down. So that's like an unfortunate thing. Um, as far as the user interface goes, it's very fast. I don't really have a problem with the UI at all. I like it. I can see the potential for it to be a little bit unorganized when you're loading up games constantly and you get this long horizontal endless line of nothing but your games. So I do wish that there is sort of the ability with PlayStation 3 where you can put stuff in folders. If you remember, PlayStation 3 at launch had the same thing. If you navigate over to the game menu, all the way down, you just have all your downloadable content for games. But at least with PS3, it was organized between video, music, pictures, and video games. Here, it's just on one long horizontal line. So I put Battlefield 3 in, I put 4 in, Assassin's Creed 4 and Killzone Shadowfall in, and they all installed to my console, and those pictures popped up, alright? They're game pictures. You cannot play those games without the disc, more or less, but whenever you put the game disc in, it automatically puts the tile for that game all the way in front, so it's easily accessible. I like the UI. It's very fast. There's nothing really, amazing about it. I think, in terms of customization, it's very limited at the moment. You can't set a theme. You can't set your, you can't like download gamer picks or whatever. So I can see later on the potential for setting themes on your dashboard. That may change some things. I can see that, but as far as it is now, it's basically just plain. You have your blue lines, and then that's it. Yeah, overall the console's quiet. I mean, like it's like silent. I never noticed the thing was on my computer makes more noise than the actual console. And I kind of felt the heat back there to see if it was kind of getting hot, and it didn't. It was warm, but it didn't get really hot at all. And I do have good ventilation around it, so maybe that's why. But it's not like having any heat issues or anything like that. Yeah, the only thing is, like, I can't access the PlayStation Store, and it kind of sucks because I wanted to redeem that content. Now I have to hold on to this. I have to hold on to Killzone Shadowfall content and all my GameStop receipts with codes on them until the PlayStation Store goes live. Now it should go live. If it doesn't get fixed within 48 hours, that's a problem. All right. You can kind of understand this is a new console launch. A lot of people are getting their PlayStation 4s and going online all at once. And really, when you think about it, if Sony did a worldwide release and actually release it in Europe today, it would have been catastrophic. All right, the network would have been down for probably a week or so. no one would have been able to access anything. You wouldn't even be able to sign in and connect your PlayStation online ID to your system. I can understand why now they decided to delay the launch. 2 weeks, maybe because they just wanted to get a little bit of leeway there so they can get the US fixes sorted and then worry about the UK. But as far as it being a worldwide release, it just would have brought the whole network down, and no one would have been able to play online at all. So every single feature of PlayStation Network works except the PlayStation Store. So it's kind of funny. The place where you're supposed to buy stuff and download stuff is the only thing that doesn't work. That being said, though, I like the design of the system. I love the controller. After I was playing Killzone Shadowfall for the majority of today. I'll give my impressions on that later. But the controller felt great. It's extremely responsive. I like the touchpad a lot. I'm pretty surprised. In Killzone Shadowfall, you switch between your different tactical modes for your OWL, which is like your companion thing, and it works really well. It's extremely sensitive, and it's very responsive. What I can say also is that because the controller has a different texture, you get a little bit more of a grip when you're holding the controller, and I never found my hands sweaty to the point where I felt like it was kind of slipping, off of my hands. I always felt like I had a firm grip on the controller. The buttons provided really good feedback, and everything was fine. I'm surprised to say this, I love the share button. All throughout today, on Facebook, I was uploading pictures of me playing Killzone Shadowfall, like, good scenery and stuff like that. And I was surprised. I didn't think I was gonna use the share button, because you think, oh, it's a share button, whatever. I'm not really into that, but I love it. I think it's one of the most amazing additions to a game controller possible. Like I'm literally saying that, and I know some of you guys who don't have the console are gonna say, really, the share button? I'm surprised. Every single time, like I see something cool in the game, oh, that's cool. Share. It takes a screenshot. Or you can record a video, but in this case, I just did screenshots, and you just immediately upload to Facebook, and boom, within 10 seconds, it's on the network. It's amazing, and the pictures are extremely high quality. I think they're full 1920 by 1080 resolution pictures on Facebook. It's extremely high quality, and it's really good. I actually watched a video Reality Pales posted on Facebook of him playing Killzone. And it looked really good. It's like 720p, but it looked really good, and it looked really smooth. The options button is obviously your new start button. I played, with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. You might have saw that video. You push down on the here it is. You push down on this pad to bring up the map, and the options is the start button, new start button, technically. I also like the speaker built in on the controller, and with Killzone Shadowfall, they have audio logs throughout the world. This is a new thing for the series, and audio logs, are good. I think I can speak for everyone that I like audio logs more than written text. I don't want to read something. I'd rather hear someone talk about something and feed me a story. The problem with audio logs is I find this happening so often. When I'm playing a game and I collect them, like when I'm playing BioShock Infinite and I'm collecting audio logs, I find myself distracted when listening to them. That sometimes I miss stuff. And the reason I know this is because I go and I watch like a playthrough of BioShock Infinite along with as I'm playing through the game myself, and I find that my attention, because I'm not focused on playing a game at the same time, my attention is focused on listening to the audio log. But now, because in Killzone Shadowfall, when you collect an audio log, it plays through the controller. It plays through the controller speaker. And I found myself really like paying attention. I was aware of everything that the people were saying in the audio logs, and it was just a really cool dynamic. Like I started playing, I was like, whoa, this is pretty sick. It's an awesome feature. Overall, the controller is fantastic. I love it. The triggers feel very good in Killzone Shadowfall. It's very responsive. You can press the PlayStation button and immediately go back to the main UI, and then you can switch off and on between games and stuff like that. Like if I'm playing Killzone Shadowfall, I'm like, oh, I want to see what my friend is playing. Boom, PlayStation button, go up to the friends section or whatever on the UI. You're like, oh, okay, he's playing Knack. PlayStation button again, boom, you're back into the game. And it's instantaneous. There is no loading time at all. On the install time, It takes about, I would say, 60 seconds when you insert a PlayStation 4 disc into your system for it to load up the initial, startup thing. Because what it does is it loads up an initial like home menu and an initial like first couple chapters of the game or whatever, and then as you're playing, it keeps installing. But what I did is, because I knew this prior, what I did is I put the PlayStation 4 disc in the console while I was messing around with the UI and settings and everything. It probably takes around, I would say, guessing 5 to 7 minutes to install like Killzone Shadowfall, which is like a 45 gigabyte game. Um, when you're obviously playing the game, um, like if you're playing it and it's installing at the same time, you're not going to run into any like issues like that. But it is fast. I do have the system on standby mode right now. The light's yellow, signifying that. What standby mode does is it's basically off, but it makes sure that it keeps my games updated. It keeps my trophies synced and whatever and stuff like that. My controller is actually charging right now. My system's on standby, but my controller is actually charging as the system's on standby. So that's pretty cool. I charged the controller fully, and I could say that it has, same 3 bars. I probably got through 33% of the power within a good 8 hours, maybe 8 hours, something like that. Obviously, the controller is going to use more power because of the touchpad, because of the light bar and stuff like that. But overall, like, you can charge it. You can charge the controller while the system is in standby. And because it's a micro USB cable, you can take your standard phone charger if you have like an Android phone and plug it through there, and you can charge your controller through your phone charger. So that's kind of fun. My thoughts on Killzone Shadowfall are this: it's a gorgeous game. It really is, and it plays extremely well. I think that in terms of gameplay and graphics, it's a huge step for the series. The gameplay, the levels are massive, like massive, massive levels, like parts where I got lost. And you can kind of see that in my impressions of Killzone Shadowfall. But now you can collect, text logs. You can collect audio logs. You can do side objectives and stuff. I think it's a step in the right direction for the series. But as far as Killzone Shadowfall goes, it's just a decent game. The story's decent. And the gameplay, the streaming mechanics, I mean, it's your standard FPS affair. It's fun at some parts, but like I said, I've been playing it all throughout today. I probably put about 8 hours into the game today. And I kind of felt myself getting a little bit tired. Alright, and I am, generally tired, but I meant tired of playing the game a little bit. So it's one of the reasons why I turned it off now. Like, I turned it off, like, to make this video. I was going to wait a little bit and play it for a little bit more, but I was like, I don't really feel like it. The way you quit games now is very simple. You don't quit games at all. All you do is you press the PlayStation button, you go back to the main UI, you press options, and you eject the disc. So you just eject the disc while, and then I guess your system, it sort of auto-saves. It sort of auto-saves, but if your disk is still in there while the system is in standby, I think, to my knowledge, you can just immediately resume back to where you were. So overall, I like the system. I wish the PlayStation Store would work. Hopefully it works tomorrow morning when I wake up and I go to play and beat Killzone Shadowfall's campaign. I wasn't able to stream today because, I'm uploading videos, and the stream would have just been awful if all I did was upload videos and stream at the same time. It would have been awful. So I will be probably streaming tomorrow. So keep in mind, just keep around Twitter, because I'm gonna be tweeting out when I'll be streaming. I'll leave my Twitch thing in the description of the video, so you guys can follow me on Twitch, and I'll send you an email and stuff when I go live. Other than that, pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it today. I had a lot of fun, and Killzone Shadowfall is a decent game. It really is. So I'll see you guys later. I'm going to have my final impressions later on in the week when I have more time to play it. But overall, my first initial impressions are it's pretty good. It's a pretty good system. I like. I don't really have any particular problem with it that I'm just hate. Except, the PlayStation Store is down. But when it is live, then I'll be able to have a lot of fun. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and